1/8 will be détaché, will be staccato, because otherwise it's boring. Here, this is contralto, then we have in soprano, and then we have in the bass. Okay? This is free voice fugue. Where are the free voice? 1, 2, 3. Structure. This is structure. Bach, when he was writing fugue, he was thinking about the choir. Soprano, contralto, tenor, and basso. This is three voices. Even we find 4 voices. Fugue. 3 voices means that we have the voice once in tonal, then dominant, tonic, dominant, and tonic. Do, sol, do. It's so it counts, but it's always we have to think about the voices. Singers often sing even the fugue by Bach, and it's fantastic because you can sing this. Yes. This counterpoint is so pure, even if it's instrumental, but you can sing it. It works perfectly. It's better.
Do string singers still exist? Yeah.
Yes, because they renew, they're fantastic. And there is also another, the king singers, they do more or less the same, but great. I love the repertoire because this Bach it's more beautiful singing, I think, even food.
Rosanna, just in case that we don't get another chance, would you actually have a look at the 4th suite of the French suites, and just as you...
Which one?
And give me the 4th, the Allemande.
The Allemande, the first movement.
Where, this one.
It's in a book, yeah.
Well, it's the 4th suite.
4th movement?
No, the first movement of the 4th Allemande is
one.
the...
Yeah, we were looking here. Yes,
I know that you don't really know that one, but as you look at it for the first time, what do you think?
We were talking about like the left hand, what he's doing. I told him this is very interesting how Bach wrote it, because he did not write this, but he wrote.
That's exactly how I play it.
I will separate. He wrote. There is a melody in the left hand, in the basso, this. And so the tenor will do un. So I can write this. Only the simple part for 2 instruments. One can be cello, and one can be, I don't know, or 2 cellos, or like. So you can see these 2 voices.
When you get to this part, then to...
Of course, when you have, this is free, sometimes it's even 4 parts. You have to distribute, you have to play 4 parts of 2 hands. This is... You have to like... what is interesting that you have to play two parts with one hand. It's difficult to do the liaison here because, of course.
So at that point, it divides into, well, 3, and are there 4 voices at a certain?
This is here.
That's,
Yes, this another
is 4
part where
voices.
this is 4 voices. We were saying. Here we have mi sol si re do si la sol fa sol re mi. This is a sort of progression. So it's I will. If you split it 1 octave lower, you will see, you will listen that these are 2 instruments. Of course, if they are close to each other, it looks like it's one voice, but it's not one voice. It's evidence. This is one choir is singing. The answer. This is the same. It's here. Sol, la, do. Here. Here, even here, it's always 2 voices. Of course, what is
that indicated by the both stems?
Yes,
the
of
2
course. This
stems
is for both. We have
Yes.
2 voices here. One is do and la bim la. This la is la for both voices. Okay, even here. Even this file for you, we have one voice is with the up, this the leg upstairs, and the other one is down. So this is 2 voices.
How does a pianist?
You have to keep it up.
So the pianist, do they express that in any different way? The fact that it's the identical note for the second voice. It seems impossible to express.
You keep it down.
You keep it down.
Because you
simply.
have this melody. We have 2 melodies. One is do la sol la do fa, do la sol la do fa. The other melody is mi sol si la do mi sol si la do mi sol fa. Okay. Okay, so it's because you keep it. This one goes with these notes, 8 notes, but this is 2 notes. But you listen to voices that go, that moves together.
So instead of simply writing that as a sustained note,
you have to keep it.
You have to keep it.
If you don't keep it, it's one voice. If you keep it down, it's 2 voices.
Yes.
One voice is. This is second and first voice. The first voice goes on. This is second. And then it works. When this la ends here you have a rest.
Yes.
Because otherwise you don't understand that is a second voice. La, sol, la. It's like when you sing. La, sol, la, do, fa. Otherwise, how can you sing?
Like a breath?
Of course, because you start the new line, and you have to you have to
breathe. You have to rest.
Because this is vocal.
Yeah.
Do mi sol si la la do mi sol.
Yes.
La sol si re. Even here, always this fa. This one is a breath.
Yes.
Because you start fa si re fa mi. Mi, re, si. Yeah, this is a brief. This is also
Exactly.
brief. Of course.
Exactly.
It's all brief.
This is what I said to Adrian one day.
Always.
The most difficult piece for this, for me,
It's
as
difficult.
a basic
This is
player,
difficult.
the most difficult for me, he didn't get it complete, now you're
yeah.
explaining it well, is doing what is exactly written right with the connections, how long you keep a note.
Okay, this is
And this is so difficult to
sol, si, re, do,
respect the
do,
length
si,
of the
la,
notes.
sol.
You know,
You must sing it.
yes. Well, I think
Like,
the key is the
and
idea of
mi,
the
sol,
voices.
si,
you
re,
know.
do, si, la, sol, fa, sol,
Yeah.
si, mi, mi, re, do, re,
Mhm.
mi, re, do, re. It's all of this. Mi, sol, si, re, do, si, la, sol, fa, sol, si, mi, re, do, re. All
Yeah,
this.
where you have to keep the note and where you have to take your finger off.
Yeah.
Because it's
Otherwise,
really so-
you cannot play it.
Yes.
And you know what? I don't think this is good. 4, 5, 4. It's difficult. This one is good. The first one. This one is good.
Yeah.
4, 5, 4 is difficult. 5, 4, 3 is perfect. Because you me or 4, 3, 2, but not 4, 5, 4. But this is not difficult because you must not keep it down. Okay? When you have a long note and then you start again, you must breathe. Mi, re, do, re. A singer cannot say mi, re, do, si, la, fa, fa, mi, re. No, mi, re. Even if you play flute, it's like this. After a long note, mi, then mi, re, do, si, la, sa. It's not written, but it's obvious.
Yeah.
Rosanna, go to the very beginning and go to the treble clef and in the very beginning, then too. Whenever you listen to the Logic Pro, the transcription of it, you weren't happy with the transcription.
It was perfect here.
Oh no, it was perfect there, but then we were hearing the sustained notes of the lower voice. But in the Is there-
But I like this. Okay, this is me. It's a sort of, this is a melody in the left hand, eh? And this is two voices. It's not this. It's not written like this way.
What
Eh?
about the right hand though?
This should be also 4 that goes to 5. Otherwise, you cannot do the legato. This, okay, you know. This is, of course, growing up. Even if you cannot do it with the harpsichord, you cannot do crescendo. But in this case, because you're here and you're going up, you can do crescendo. Even here, solfa, so you can do like this.
Yeah.
It's
a small
the
liaison
solfa,
between the C and the mi.
mi.
Yeah.
Solfa, sol, si, mi, sol, fa, da, ra, pa. It's more beautiful because pa, ra, pa, ra. You know, this is vocal. You,
Yeah.
and you must even imagine how would a flutist play this. I say flutist because it's instrumental. They have the same problem with the breathing as.
I have a question here, like with this note here, with that long C, I mean, you really have to respect it. You have to keep that C, no?
yeah.
If you play those
Because
4
this
quarter
is
notes,
too-
you have to keep the fourth finger.
Because this is bass and this is tenor. And
yeah.
on piano,
There you leave it.
You can keep it in
Yes.
piano. This is like organ.
Yes, yes, yes.
Harpsichord, you will not listen the C until then. This
Well, equally here, but this one you can leave away a little bit earlier. The sol. The sol you can use as a brief.
yeah, here
let's say
you put a rest.
you put the rest on a crochet. Exactly.
Yes. At the end
This
of a
functions
long
as a-
note, you put a rest.
Functions as a-
Sol,
Fa,
fa. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, here equal, no? Yeah.
This looks like Si, La, Si, Sol, Do. This looks like one voice is doing Si, La, Si, Sol, Do, Halas, Do, Mi, Fa. This is another voice. This is not the this.
Yeah.
Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Sol, Do. Finish tenor.
Other story.
Bass. This is a progression. It's the same thing. This is. It's the same. Si, La, Si, Sol, Do. It's like Sol, Fa, Sol, Mi, La. It's the same. It's 2 degrees lower. Si, La, Si, Sol, Do. Sol, Fa, Sol, Mi, La. It's the same. Sol, Fa. Okay. This is not legato, this is staccato. All these octaves are portato, not legato.
Why did you suddenly realize that?
Of course, you cannot do all legato. It's not for organ. This is portato. It's otherwise it's.
Otherwise, what?
This is like a sort of continuo. This no, this is vocal. But once you come here, it's like. Yes, of course. Of course, this is staccato. It's not like this. This is because this is continua. It's a sort of for the harmony. It's this. Here the problem, the counterpoint is between. In the right hand, it's between soprano and alto, not between the left hand, the basso. This is basso continuo. It's all must be very soft, not this. But this is not real three voices. This is two voices with basso continuo. What is important is the game between these two voices, the imitation. What I was saying that here, this one is a continuo. It's portato. It's not. It's boring, eh? This line must not disturb this game. Two voices. The real counterpoint is between soprano and alto, not between the left hand. Left hand must be soft. Because the real game is something like that, okay? So to understand, so, si, mi. You see, so, si, mi, si, do, la, fa, mi, re, do, re. Here, this must be very soft. It's this voice is not connected to the two voices. This is two voices and basso continuo. So you know, you see that it's not. This is not connected with what is happening here. Here we have two voices that are playing together. So. Mi, sol, si, re, do, sol, la, fa, re, do, si, la, sol, fa, sol, si, mi, si, do, la, fa, mi, re, do, re. This is imitation, but this is not playing the same game. This is basso continuo, so it's always the same. So it must be different and slowly. Because it's not. This is not counterpoint. This is counterpoint, because this is imitation of this. Counterpoint is, you know, I have two lines that I ask, you answer,
It's
you
a
ask, I
dialogue.
answer. But it's a dialogue. But this is not a dialogue. It's independent. So it's basso continuo. You must fix your mind not on the left hand. It's not important. On the right, it's difficult. This is difficult because I can write it for 3 instruments, even 4 in this bar, and it's a game between mainly 2 instruments. The third instrument, left hand, it's basso continuo. It goes by its own. It's difficult.
As you look at the second half, which is a...
This is the same like that, huh? But here is in basso, here is contralto. This, you see. Si, 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 do, la, fa, si, pa, 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 pa. Basso continuo. Si. And so on. So. And you have to. No, the problem, if here. You must put power on, you know, on this finger. Here. The power is there. And here it's on C. C. So. And so on. This is not in 4, this is in 2, huh? It's written in 4, but it's not true. Pa 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 ra, pa 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 pa. How comes it's not in 4? It will be too. It's too slow in 4. Pa 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 ra, pa 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 pa. It's horrible. In 4 is pa 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 pa. It cannot be 4. This is wrong.
What would you
This
write?
is
What time?
not in 4, in 2. It's
in 2.
evident. This is 1 and this is 2. Because an accent is here and here. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. This cannot be 2 because the beat is on me. This is 1, 2, 1, 2. Not in 4 is. If I think it's 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's never goodbye. This is sorry. Pa para 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 pa. It's in two. It's very important in two, not in four.
But to be honest, you do it naturally.
Yes, we do it naturally
It's something obvious.
for you.
For me, it's obvious. I mean, to be very honest, I never saw that it was 4/4, but it's naturally.
This four, it's.
You mean there is a mistake in the score?
No, but
because it should be written with a bar.
Yes,
See,
this is in four. It's two. It's not. It's obvious. It is
yes.
two. Look,
So
sorry.
why is it written on the C?
No, it's not in four. It's in two. It's evident. 1, 2.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I didn't
Yes,
be
yes,
too
yes.
slow. But 1. It's not like this. It's. It's evident. Huh? It's of course 1. The accent is here and here. It's not there. It's not. Evident.
Now, I found it very difficult to, once I came to the conclusion that there were 4 voices and I tried to transcribe it or enter it into, following the voices, I found it all fell apart, here. Can you, but you're saying it's not 4, there aren't 4 voices going on here.
Now
You're saying
here,
that's
this is 2 voices, then we have a chord, so this is 2 voices.
So you would treat that as 2 voices and a chord rather than fused chord.
This is 4 voices.
That's 4.
But it's
But does it make sense to call it, as I defined them in 4 voices, I found it very hard to get the software to conform to where the ties were.
Yeah, I got it. I
Yeah,
imagine
but-
you can.
And does that mean I have to stop
Yeah.
saying, define it for just 2 voices and just say chords? Because you can have
You
independent.
should do it like this. You should write in 2 voices and then you put a chord. But this
Put a chord,
becomes
okay.
4 voices.
Well, yeah, okay. Oh, wait, no, when you said it becomes 4 voices, it becomes 4 voices further on.
And this is 5 voices. Yeah.
Well, 5
1, 2,
voices,
3, 4, 5.
but yes,
but
because
if
there are 5
you
notes
don't
simultaneously.
consider 5 voices, you can
Yes.
see you put
Simply
write a chord and so on.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. This is full of things to say to look inside, because otherwise it will be played very bad, But what usually what is important to see that the left hand is independent completely, is basso continuo.
It changes everything if you really know what is happening.
Well, you must pay attention. You study your left hand, your basso continuo, and then you say, okay, let's see what happens in the right hand, and then the problem is the right hand, because you have 2 lines that they move together and they enter in each other. But I think it's important to separate the 2 hands 1 octave lower, even if it's there. So you. It's important. Okay, as we saw, even here, pa pa do re pa. This is because this belongs to here. Because you can give a look what happens inside. Otherwise, you don't even hear. It's always the same. We have a sort of question, and then we have the answer. It's always the same answer. So if you put it distance, you can see the movements of the 2 instruments. Of course, once you go together with the same hand, it will be more difficult. But you get used to these games inside the melody. You know when it's melody A and when it's melody B. That works very strict together. And this is very important to know to play this sort of music because it's counterpoint. It's not harmony, this is counterpoint. Imitation, and it's always going inside each other. And in this case, the left hand is not playing the game. It goes by its own. It's all many. It's not playing the same game. It's independent. It's very interesting and
Interesting,
maybe I
useful.
did not mention, and did not. This is for 4. It's not in 4. It will be too slow.
I mean, what would you say about the allemande as a dance? What is the feeling of the allemande for you? You know, it's impossible to say, but I mean,
you know, these are all dances that come from the past, from the sarabande, the gavotte, the courant is in French. Of course, the allemande is always a dance. It can be in 4 or in 2, and mainly this is a typical allemande. As you see, also the other allemande. When I say minuet is always in 3, courant is always in 3, sarabande is in 3, allemande is always in 4, and you see that it's always the same, like, you know, with movements. It's not very quick. It's like andante. It's andante.
I think the issue about the 4/4 is not even about speed, about whether it's fast. It's more about the cadence.
But this is 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could even play it slower, but also with the sensation.
But
of
this
the
is
two.
andante. It's not quick. This is a progression. It's a progression, and it's going down, so you should have a diminuendo. Do, si, re, mi. This one, do, si, ta, ta, ra, ta, ra, pan, is A. B, C, D. It's the same. Do, si, re, pi, do, di, ta, ta is 1. The first time. Second time. Third time. Fourth time. 4 times. It's always the same. Do, si, re, mi, sol, mi, sol, do. First time. 4 times. Quindi. Because it goes down, diminuendo. It's a progression going down, but there are other progression. It's interesting. I think that it's important to, when you start studying something like this, you must look inside to have an idea of what happens. Otherwise, it's a very good exercise, but you don't enter the idea of the composer, because this is full full of very interesting games, musical games. It looks two very simple pages, not simple, and inside we are discovering a lot of things. It's so rich. And only when you work inside, you need time to discover what is the game inside. Because I say there's always a game. You're playing a game. It's like when you play chess, skaki,
Yes.
and you have to try the game.